Hi, I'm Marsh from StrataGames, and today we're playing some more mono-red axes. This is a mono-red aggro deck very similar to Red Rally, except instead of Rally and Burning Tree Emissary, we're playing Inventor's Axe as a way to give additional damage to any of our creatures at instant speed, and you can transfer it around. And then we're playing Ginger Brute with that, because Ginger Brute is pretty much the best aggressive one-drop in red or colorless creature that you can play that also has evasion. Makes it really hard to get blocked, and then with Axe on it can be 3 damage over and over, really strong. So we're doing that. We're also, of course, playing just a bunch of the standard red creatures you're going to be familiar with: Valdaran Epicure, Clockwork Percussionist, Goblin Tomb Raider, and some Reckless Lackey. For a little bit of card advantage, we have Reckless Impulse and Experimental Synthesizer. Then we have a huge swath of burn here in Galvanic Blasts, Lightning Bolts, Chain Lightnings, and a 1 of Fire Blast. We have Great Furnace, of course, for our artifact synergies and some mountains. Then on our sideboard, we just have a bunch of End the Festivities, Pyroblasts, Cast into the Fire, and Relics of Progenitus. So let's take this for a league, see how we do.
Thanks to Card Market for sponsoring this video. I've written a comprehensive guide on how to play White Weenie in Pauper, including my ideal stock list, over 30 sideboard matchups, and a sideboard cheat sheet, which gives you a very easy snapshot view and what to sideboard for every single matchup. I also have guides for Black Sack and Esper Affinity. Each guide is only $15, and if you buy one, you will get all future updates that I ever make to that guide for free. I also offer coaching, so if you're interested in upping your Pauper game for any of the decks that I'm very proficient in, or if you're interested in having me play your deck in a future video, you can do a deck donation, which is the only way you'll ever see me playing Cycle Storm or Flickertron.
All right, we are on the play here. Always a good start. I'm going to keep this one. It's not the best thing I've ever seen, but we do have double Galvanic Blast that's immediately turned on turn 3-ish. Decent lands. Like, I don't mind 3 lands, although we want to draw pretty much no more lands for the rest of the game, and Synth is just good value. We have a 1-drop, so we could use some more creatures for sure, but hopefully we'll find them with the Synth. Opponent mulligans to 6. We'll swing for 1 here. They got a bridge. Of course, drew another land, so I could Synth, but if I had a Reckless Impulse, Fire Blast, it's going to be a waste. It's only 4 cards in our deck. Everything else is good and playable, and I'd rather not wait another turn, so I'm going to do this and just hope we don't hit one of those 4, and we did, of course. We could cast this if we had 2 mountains. I wouldn't want to sack our first 2 lands anyway, so whatever. Hello, Mr. Marsh. Love the content. Keep it up. Thanks so much. I appreciate that. Thanks for being here. Glad you enjoy. Okay, so the exact thing that I said I didn't want to happen, which was draw more lands and turn up a Fire Blast, is exactly what's happening. What am I supposed to do? If I'd hit the land and then the Fire Blast, that would have been fine. I mean, they're doing nothing, which is interesting. Tomb Raider. I could crack Synth, and if I find a 1-drop, if I find anything that's not a Reckless Impulse, I can play it. Although if it's a creature, I can't also play Tomb Raider here. But it makes it 2-2, so I think we're going to do that. I'll probably turn up a Reckless Impulse. Okay, Percussionist. That's actually pretty good, because we find our 3rd artifact again, since I just sacked our 3rd artifact. To turn the Galvanic Blasts back on. Although they could have a Krark or something here, but nothing so far. Okay, Galvanic Blast on the Samurai makes me think they're not going to have a Krark. That could be good. Just Enforcer? Okay, that's totally fine. I can blast that. Oh my god, so many lands. I assume they're Grixis and they just have only drawn Rakdos lands. I could be wrong. But playing the Mirror Enforcer kind of shows that they don't have the best start here, and they're bargaining a land. Yeah, definitely looking for blue sources. And just other things, Kirk and whatnot. Munitions, not too bad. Give me a bolt. Please stop. I mean, we're doing fine because they had a bad start, but 7 lands, not very good. Good news is the Percussionists turn up more cards, even if they shoot them, so going to be hard for them to get out of this. They bargained a Great Furnace. They didn't float a mana, or rather tap it for mana, which they should have. So that could be pretty bad for them. Start with the Synth, Epicure. We'll crack the Synth as well. Just see if we get haste, guys. Mountain. Swing for 4. There might be a Galvanic Blast on this, but Epicure plus Galvanic Blast of our own is going to be lethal. So despite drawing 7 lands, 4 more than we started with. No, this is 8 lands. 5 more than we started with. And the Fire Blast when we didn't want it, we did get there. All right, casting the Fire. Maybe Pyroblast, but I think cast is probably all we want to do for Chain Lightnings. What was their keep? I would assume it was a bunch of Rakdos lands, the 1 Mirror Enforcer they had, and maybe 2 Reckoner's Bargains. It was not very good. But in the blind, it's the type of hand where it's like not very good, but it does have lands you can play. Eventually spells, so maybe they were just like hoping it wasn't an aggro deck. And it was. Surely I will draw into a blue source. Yeah, that too. Definitely could have had some Thought Casts, Utra Monitors, whatever. We're trying to go speedy here, but our... I feel like that game should have taken 2 minutes maybe, because they had nothing and we had very little and then attacked. Well, our opponent is disconnected. That's great. That's exactly what I was hoping for. I was going to say they're taking a while to sideboard. They took a while to keep in the first place. Oh, brother. Also, completely unrelated, but Deprive is quickly becoming a pet card for me. Thank you for the tech. No problem. I'm very proud of that one. I'm not saying I'm the first person to ever play it in Pauper, because, of course, I'm sure people have done that before, but it is one that I found that I thought looked like it could be good enough in Terror to play as like a 1 or a 2 of. And I've been really enjoying it. And I've also seen Illuminati pick it up as a 1 or a 2 of in specifically, I think, the Turbo lists that runs even fewer lands. But that was pretty cool, too, that he started playing that. So I'm a big fan. Well, if they're disconnected going into this, we're going to win, I guess, but we're going to have to wait another, 8 minutes. Going to the LGS. I'll see this on YouTube. Thanks so much. Appreciate it. Take it easy, Guidonic. For real, I've been trying a 15 land list to see how it is. Yeah, I tried the 14 land turbo list that Illuminati was running, and it played well, I think, for 2 matches, or maybe 3 in the league, and then it just felt like I mulliganed to 4 or 5 every game because I couldn't get any lands, and that felt pretty bad, so I don't think that's for me. 15 I could maybe get away with, but I generally like the 16 land version. I feel like it's the right number. Which is obviously why people have been on it for so long, but I still like Deprive even in that list. I don't know if this matters because our opponent might just be disconnected for a million minutes. Actually, I think they're back because it says choose to play first. I think I'm going to keep this hand. Obviously, now we want lands and we'll probably never draw them, but it's just very good if we do get a land. So, very fast. They have lost connection to the game again. I swear, every time I want a fast league, this is what happens. It's impossible to get, I suppose. Okay, they're back. I'll keep this one. They mulliganed. You want fast and it got you slow. Yeah, exactly. It's just, I need to not say that I want a fast league, and then maybe it'll happen. You have to wait out the whole timer on MTGO in this case. I think they're back again. They mulliganed to 5, but if they disconnected, you don't have to wait out the full timer, but it's 7 or 8 minutes before it'll make them lose due to inactivity. So it's a while, Luckily, it's not 20 minutes, but it's still enough for you to just sit there for way too long. And I appreciate it, of course, because sometimes I'm the one who has internet connectivity issues, and it takes me 5 minutes to get back in, and then I haven't lost, and that's good. But it definitely is frustrating being on the other side of it. And they're gone again. We're just waiting for them to stop losing connection and then joining the game, and losing connection and then joining the game. One day they'll be back, and then we'll play our match. This is what winning looks like. Incredible first comment. Yep, you may not like it, but this is actually peak performance. This is a perfect game because I won't take any damage. My opponent will have no permanents in play. They'll have drawn no additional cards, and I'll still win because I'm just that good. Oh, they mulligan to 4. Even if they play, they're going to start with 4 cards in hand. And I mean, my hand, if I don't get lands, is not amazing, so I could still lose. Oh, we got something happening. I was hoping for the Great Furnace, where it would just be the absolute best start for me possible. Still not a bad one, but they could have a Croak or something. Refurb. I think that eats a Chain Lightning. All right, I could go Tomb Raider, but then they're just going to trade the Refurb probably. So I'm just going to Ginger Root, and maybe they trade with it, and then I get a Tomb Raider going anyway. Maybe not. Maybe they wouldn't trade because they want the affinity count, but no attacks, no plays. All right, here we're going to go for double Tomb Raider then. I guess I could single Tomb Raider and Lightning Bolt. Maybe that would be better. But they could have a Reckoner's Bargain. I'd rather they have to chump if they want to use it and not trade than eat a Bolt. Yeah. Gain 4, take 4, play a bridge. Oh, they got the Krark. Death Touch 2. Look at that. They're pretty lucky. They're so lucky going to 4 and then having the right cards. Synth hits a Percussionist. Good news is they still only have 2 cards. But they're at 22. We don't have much pressure because of that. Oh, they just pass immediately. I'm gonna just throw the axe out, get them for 3. Percussionist, no, Epicure, the other card. And we can start leaving up bolts here. Attack for 4, pass the turn. I assume they're drawing blue cards, or maybe Mirror Enforcers they can't cast, or both. Galvanic, ooh. This could find a Galvanic Blast, maybe, which would clear this. No, but we found a Synth. I guess I probably don't want to play Synth. I'll play it next turn. Let's just attack. Either when they block, I can bolt. We'll see what this turns up, though. Might just want to bolt them. There's the Galvanic Blast. It's probably better to just... this can be used until the end of my next turn. It's tough because this could get Reckoner's Bargained, which would gain them so much life that I think it's worth bolting. Even though I'd rather just direct it all at their face, I think it's better this way. They have a Thoughtcast. Spellbomb. Mirror Enforcer. Could kill the Mirror Enforcer here. Then I get to equip up the Axe and attack in for 3. I think that's worth it then. Plus, still staving off the Reckoner's Bargain. Start with the Synth. That turns up a Reckless Impulse. Use that. That turns up a Ginger Brute. So Axe onto that guy. Swing for 4. I think I just Epicure. I could hold up a Bolt in case they have another Krark Toxin, but the Krark's going to wipe the board regardless, so the Toxin to gain a couple life isn't that relevant. Still good, but I think I'd rather the creature here. They're going to crack the Spellbomb to draw a card. Thoughtcast, Vault, another Spellbomb. That's 7. Okay, looking for something. And they've lost connection to the game. This first match in our Fast League is going to take like 30 minutes with actual gameplay of being like 5 minutes. So that's fun. This reminds me of being early at the LGS, someone being late, and you getting a bye just sitting there. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm twiddling my thumbs, looking around at what my opponents, or not my opponents, the other players are playing, noting it for future matches. Oh, they're on Elves. Oh, they're on Mono Red Madness. Except that I can't do that here. I get nothing from sitting here, nor do the viewers. That's the real tragedy. Don't forget stream title. You're right. It's very important I update the stream title. All right, I've updated the stream title to better represent what we're playing right now. Is this when people show their brews and ask for feedback? Go for it. We got a couple minutes. The stream title for our YouTube viewers who don't see it is Twiddling My Thumbs While Looking at a Game of Magic the Gathering. Twiddle, twiddle, twiddle. I've got 5-color gates if you want to take a look. You can send a link. I'll take a look. It'll be more productive than what's happening here. I'm going to guess it'll be another 3 minutes until they lose to inactivity. All right, 5-color gates by Rika Roxar here. So we have Basilisk Gate and Naya Tapland Gates with Heap Gate. We're playing... My brain's not computing all of these cards together, I will say. Writhing Chrysalis, Sneaky Snacker, of course. Sacred Cat, Rafine's Informant, Malevolent Rumble, Pursue the Past, main deck Red Elemental Blast, 4 Abjure with Cryogen Relics, 4 Cast Down, 2 Prismatic Strands, 2 Thraben Charms. Sideboard is 4 Blue Blasts, 3 Drown in Sorrow, 2 Dust to Dust, 4 Hydro, 2 Thraben Charm. Abjure seems hard to enable with only Cryogen. There is also Sneaky Snacker, but I was going to comment on that. I think only 8 blue permanents is... very few. I was just playing an Abjure deck. A video just went up a couple days ago, and we had 14 ways to use Abjure, and it was still sometimes dead in my hand. So, yeah, I think that feels risky. Just check here. Yep, nothing's happened. And, yeah. And then, so splashing black. The black splash is only for cast down, and Drown in Sorrow in the sideboard. Drown in Sorrow and Dust to Dust, double colored with a mana base like this, I don't think you can get away with. I think this should be Breath Weapon, probably. Dust to Dust, you could do like an Ancient Grudge to have a similar effect. I think, like, because you're not probably going to want to put most Cliff Gates and Heap and Manor Gates on white to get like a second white. You're going to want to be doing other colors, so it seems tough. It's a brew. Yeah, I mean, nothing wrong with a brew that, has a little work to do. I'm just mentioning some thoughts off the top of my head. Cast Down's, of course, a great card. It feels like that being the only reason to be black, except for Drown in Sorrow, which I think could just be Breath Weapon. This could maybe just be more Thraben Charms, Lightning Bolts, some other removal that obviously is not quite as good and all-encompassing, but it feels like I'm not seeing a good enough reason to be 5-color, I guess, when you could just be 3 or 4 color and have a better mana base. I was thinking it would be the best hit all removal. It is, but I think, is it worth the mana cost hindering your mana so much? Adding a 5th color that you need to put these lands on? And I would say no, probably not. Naya running Dust to Dust isn't unprecedented, but yeah, I think the splash cards are not fully justified. Yeah, Naya running Dust to Dust would be totally fine because you play a Citadel Gate on white-green, and then you play a Cliff Gate, and you're already choosing a color you already have. But in a 5-color, you're playing Citadel Gate on white-blue, and then a Cliff Gate on red-black, and then your Manor Gate maybe finds your white. Like, you just have too many more colors to go with, Also, the Dust to Dust is because we have a lot of Grixis locally. I think that's fair. Making sure your sideboard is good for your local meta is great. I'm just not sure your mana base can support it, because there are 2 different things you got to look out for when trying to make sure your mana base can produce the colors of mana and stuff that you need, which is the different colors of mana. You're doing all 5. And then also the numbers of those colors of mana, which, again, you're doing Dust to Dust, which needs 2 white, Drowning Star, which needs 2 black. What are the chances that you can, I don't know, Dust to Dust on turn 3, and then also cast your Writhing Chrysalis on turn 4? Or even turn 4 and 5, because a lot of these are tap lands. But, like, you want to think about those types of things. And I would say the chances are extremely low with what you got going on. Also, why I'm running 3 Heap for the treasure. Yeah, Heap helps a little bit with treasure and just the filtering to make mana of different colors, but it sets you, it's like the treasure is only for like when you don't have anything else to do with your mana, and the filtering is going to put you down a mana, right? Because you have to put 2 mana into it to get 1 mana out. So, you're going to have to play your Cryogen Relic for 3 mana to get your blue or whatever. So I think it's interesting, and I'm not saying like it's terrible, throw it away or anything like that. I'm always for any unique brew. I just think you really got to make sure the colors are justifying themselves. And I'm mostly seeing a Naya Gates package with some blue and black cards that aren't really feeling like they are fully supported at the moment. But it's an interesting idea, and thanks for sharing it. I hope that you take that all constructively as it is intended. We won a match. It only took about 30 minutes. Yeah, no problem. Always happy to help. All right, we're on the draw here. We have a Tomb Raider with no artifact immediately. We have a lot of burn. Then I can flash in an axe on the Tomb Raider, but if the Tomb Raider dies, it's kind of bad. I think I'm going to mulligan this one. It's kind of close, but I'll keep this and get rid of 1 axe just because we don't have enough creatures to support it. Yo, caught a stream. What's going on? Glad you're able to be here. I guess I can update the stream title again here. Playing mono red axes in Pauper. Candy Trail. So we're against some sort of Tron, probably Monster Tron, maybe Alter. We were just on Monster Tron and got crushed by Red Rally, which is similar, but I'm not confident we're going to be able to do the same with this hand before they start gaining too much life, but we'll see. Monster Tron coming back to get you now. Yeah, it's brutal. What goes around comes around. I guess it could be Alter Tron, which would probably be better with all of our relics in the sideboard, but I'm not holding my breath. Give me a Tomb Raider. Got a lot of burn. We're going to go for an axe, and probably a Chain Lightning. You have an opinion on Bonder's Ornament or Bender's Waterskin is better in Jeskai? I can't say I would have a very informed opinion. I've only played Jeskai like 2 or 3 times. I tried it with the Ornament, I think, once, but I have not played it with the Waterskin at all. Though I've seen it played a little bit. So I could throw out a random opinion, but I kind of don't think I am qualified to. Based on looks, I think the Waterskin looks worse because all it does is a little bit more mana, and obviously the being able to draw a bunch of cards is really good. But it's not all about looks. We like the being able to untap and then like have your Ephemerate up or whatever has proven to be very powerful. So yeah, don't really know. This is pretty unfortunate. I could dedicate 7 burn. Or 6 burn, I guess, to killing this to get in for 3. Just trying to get as many opinions as possible. Tuning the list for a 2K in August. I gotcha. My uninformed opinion would be Bonder's Ornament, but I really don't think it's worth that much. My opinion, that is, not the ornament. Okay. I feel like we've lost. I don't know. I feel like we only have 10 burn in hand when they're at 22 and probably going up. That doesn't feel like it's going to be enough, but by spending 6 damage to get in for 3, that's not really going to do much either. So I'm going to do this, and if they have like no other creatures to play, maybe we can get there. If they have all Brambleworms and 8 drops and they can't get another land. Best one has got to be Manolith. Gives you so much aura that your opponent might concede. Good point. Every time I play Jeskai, the game is in heart attack mode until all of a sudden I'm just winning by so much. That is how it feels, for sure. Definitely one of those slow control decks that is just like starting way behind. And then they ephemerate a Muldrifter and win the game instantly. Well, it'll take 20 more minutes, but that is when they win the game, you know. They got a Colossus into a Brambleworm. All right, we've lost. Let's just see if we can get a really fast one. I almost thought about putting Raze in our sideboard for if we went up against Tron, and then we didn't. And that is clearly a mistake. Actually, maybe I want Chain Lightning over Reckless Impulse. I just want cheaper stuff, but I'm going to bring in Cast in the Fire because I can get rid of creatures or maybe early artifacts. Scred is the only reason the deck is a thing. Yeah, I mean, Scred's the reason to be red, right? Pretty good card. All right, on the play. Here we go. This one, I wish we had a Great Furnace, but starting Gingerbrute into double Tomb Raider into Axe seems like the start we need. And if they Breath Weapon us, we will lose. If they don't, we have a good shot at winning, I think. Swing for 1. Did the old Jeskai Wildfire list still run Scred? Can't remember. Yes, they definitely did. That was part of the reason, I believe, that Chaotic MTG, who's one of the main Jeskai Ephemerate pilots, started doing lists without it, was that without the bridge package, because then it would make Scred better, which is solid reasoning. But of course, Wildfire is pretty good, but there were times where I was playing against a Wildfire list that has 3 bridges out, 1 Snowland, maybe 2 with a Wildfire, and then their Scred is worse than a Lightning Bolt, and it's pretty unfortunate for them. Crack a Candy Trail. So I have 5 damage. I mean, I think I just double Axe and hope for the best. Hope for no Breath Weapon. I mean, they would need to have a way to convert the mana. So they could have Natural Tron, Prism, or Bonder's Ornament into, into Breath Weapon. If they don't, I guess they could also just have Kill Ship. They could have Crop Rotation, so this could still be Tron. Okay, Ancient Stirrings, though. That's got to find something pretty good. All right, we won a game. Now we're on the draw, so it's going to be harder, but we just need to have... I think that hand could have also won on the draw, so we just need a hand that good. This is not that good, but it is still good. I think I'm going to have to keep. Maybe this isn't good enough, but it feels like it's crazy to mulligan a hand like this. Although I can't cast this into the fire. Got to start playing Smelt. Percussionist. You always want to lead with your artifact creature or haste creature or whatever, or like Epicure, instead of a Tomb Raider if you don't have a Great Furnace, because the Tomb Raider has haste next turn and not haste now, which means it'll be attacking next turn no matter what, and I can get in for an extra damage with the Percussionist here. So if I have a Great Furnace, I'm going to start with the Tomb Raider, but if not, this is how we do it. Another Tomb Raider. I mean, we're going to slam both of those and hope for no Breath Weapon. Maybe you'll be lucky and land 2 as a Pachuca Bog. That would be great. Oh, we did get lucky, and they accidentally didn't crack this at the end step. Okay, or intentionally didn't crack it because they had Natural Tron. And if that's a Prophetic Prism, they could have a Breath Weapon. Update, it was not. F. Very true. All right, they're cracking the map now. They could have cracked it before, so maybe they had the Tron or just didn't know what they wanted to crack it for. Oh, but nothing colorless. Do I have enough damage? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So no, but we can synth. I guess if I synth into a... Fire Blast, we would get there. Great Furnace. Axe. I mean, they go to 7. We have a Bolt, so that's pretty good. So even if they Breath Weapon us, we could definitely just get there with enough burn now. I don't know, maybe they didn't have a 7-drop, but if they had used the map at the appropriate time, they could have cast a 7-drop last turn. Although I guess they could have done that anyway. I don't know. Pylons to discard or mill a tower, and they're going to pass. They could still have Breath Weapon. They're just waiting on it. I'll synth first, but I don't think I'm going to cast a haste creature. They could have a Weather the Storm. So maybe I shouldn't be casting this. All right, Mountain. Well, let's just see what they got. I assume it's a Breath Weapon. I do draw off the Percussionist, so I could find a Galvanic Blast for lethal or Fire Blast. Lackey. Maybe I shouldn't have played Lackey because it now dies to a... It has haste already, so it doesn't need to be played here, and it already now it dies to a Kill Ship. But they're tapping this, which makes me think Brambleworm or Generosent. Brambleworm obviously the worst because it's bigger and gains life immediately and gains more life. Oh yeah, so it's a Generosent. That's great. They can gain the life right away though. Well, I'll bolt them. Still draw Lightning Bolt plus Galvanic off of a synth. Ginger Brute is 3 unblockable for 2 mana, which means if I crack a synth, I guess I have to find a what's it called? Fire Blast to be able to use it. But I think maybe just making the 2/2. Yeah, we'll see what we get. Oh, we got the Galvanic Blast. Ugh. Well, I don't want to waste that. But if I play Ginger Brute, I have to either pay a mana as well to give it unblockable, or I just equip with the axe to one of them, but they block that one. So I think I just Galvanic Blast them to not waste it, and I hold the Ginger Brute so it doesn't die as much. How do you feel about Mono Black Sack's position in the meta? I feel like I'd seen it a lot less recently. Yeah, I think it's not great. Grixis Affinity has just been on a bit of an upswing in the last several months, and that is its number 1 worst matchup. Well, number 2. I would say Boros Synth is its number 1 worst, probably. But Grixis is very, very bad for the deck. That makes it tough, and Mono Red Madness is not amazing for it either. So those 2 decks being so prevalent makes it very difficult. So I've definitely been playing it a little bit less. As much as I still love it, it's not amazing at the moment, unfortunately. Clearly knew they didn't have Kill Ship and wanted to have enough mana to crack Synth. Genius play. Exactly. I'm a master at this game. They got a Colossus. Please no life gain, guy. Brambleworm, come on. Every time. They're at 11. They're attacking. That's crazy. Mountain, crack a synth, Epicure. We're dead to a breath weapon for sure, so let's not even worry about that. Equip here, activate this, swing for 3. If they don't have a breath weapon, and if they don't gain a ton more life next turn, which is basically their whole deck, maybe we can like force some damage in next turn if we draw like a Galvanic as well, but I'm not really holding my breath. What type of card would you love to see to come out to buff our beloved Black Sack into tier 1? I think the number one, well, there's probably a better thing, but I think the number one card that I want for Black Sack is an instant speed Fling in black. I think if we just had Fling in black, I think it would be incredible. Rite of Consumption, the life gain is pretty irrelevant almost every single time, so it's mostly just strictly worse. And so many times your opponent's like, okay, you didn't kill me, you didn't Rite of Consumption, okay, I'll tap out on my end step. And we just, like a burn deck, we get to just be like, okay, you tapped out, I'll kill you now. So I think that might be number one. There's probably things that could be better for the deck, but that's like my number one ask. Other things that we could use realistically, like obviously if we just got an exact copy of Mortician Beetle, perfect, would love it. I mean, if it was better as well, if it had Menace or something, great. But just 8 copies of Mortician Beetle would make the deck a lot better, I think. But I don't think that's likely. I think what's more likely, although still tough, would be a Carrion Feeder for 2 mana, but like can block, I guess, But like Bloodthorn Vampire is very good and might still be better than this card I'm imagining. But like if it was, instead of +2/+2, it was just 1 counter for 2 mana. Like Carrion Feeder is just so good. I don't know. I every time I say that, because I've mentioned it a few times, I'm still not sure it would be better, because I feel like it would be much worse than Carrion Feeder, and the 2-drops that we do play are so powerful, they need to be doing something better and different, at least in some ways, than our 1-drops. So having this 2-drop Carrion Feeder would maybe be more consistent, and I do think Vampire is bad in a lot of matches and situations that I don't love it, but it's also really good in some other ones. So, I don't know, that's another thought. Or for like a crazy one, there was just a card, I think it was in Secrets of Strixhaven, that was printed, that's uncommon. It's 1 in a black, any number of target creatures you control get +1/+0, and when they die this turn, you draw a card. Incredible. Like, buffs your team, buffs Nested Shambler, and also just makes it so if you have 4 creatures, you can turn every single creature you have into another card. So if you just have 6 creatures on board with a sack outlet and they like blank your board with a couple blockers or whatever, you're just like, okay, well, I'll just draw 7. That would be crazy. I think that's a little over the line. Like, I don't think that's ever going to actually happen, but I think that card would be incredible for the deck. Similarly, not as powerful, but back in Tarkir last year, we got... can't remember what it's called. Extreme Measures, Desperate Measures, maybe. It's +1/-1 to a creature, and then if that creature was yours and it dies, you draw 2. That would be a cool one. Basically, a side grade to like a Village Rites or something. That wouldn't technically. Somebody commented on this because I mentioned this before. It wouldn't trigger a Mortician Beetle or any sack effects. That's true, but it would just be a removal spell for 1 that you also get to be a draw spell. So you can remove their Epic here before you attack for 10, but it can also kill your Nested Shambler, gave you 2 squirrels and draw you 2 instantly. Like, there's a lot of utility there. All right, they did exactly what I told them not to, which is get another Bramble Worm for more life, so I don't think we can win this, but obviously we're going to do our best. Would a 1-mana spell that gives unblockable be better than Rite of Consumption? A 1-mana black spell that gives unblockable be better than Rite of Consumption? That is an interesting question. Sorry, I gotta think real quick. I don't think this Cast in the Fire does anything exiling this, so I think I just want to like draw a new card. If I can find Galvanic, Fire Blast. We can still get there maybe. Epic here. 1 mana unblockable. Yeah, probably would be better than Rite of Consumption. I'm trying to think what it would be worse, because Rite of Consumption almost... Well, actually, no. I'll play this, and I'll activate this, and we'll attack. All right, let's talk about it. So if it's 1 mana unblockable, a lot of situations where you get stalled out, you just can't attack in with your guys because they have too many blockers, they have Death Touchers, they have whatever. It would be better then, because it's 1 mana instead of 2, unblockable, you just attack in. And the fact that you're attacking is not usually that relevant, because if they have removal to kill it in combat, they probably already are going to kill it before you're able to Rite of Consumption it. Maybe you top deck it and your guy is already big enough to throw and you do that and they don't realize, but that seems unlikely. The times it would be worse, the big example would be that one of the powers of Rite of Consumption is that it gives quote unquote double strike, right? You pump up your vampire to an 11/11, attack in, deal them 11 damage, and then Rite of Consumption for another 11. And the unblockable one would not do that. But 1 mana is a very big boon to it. There's a card from Rise of the Eldrazi called Night Haze, which is a single black mana cantrip. So you draw a card that gives Swamp Walk to a creature. So if it was like that, but it was unblockable, like the blue cards we've seen, Slip Through Space does that too in blue. So if it was just a black card, target creature gains unblockable, draw a card, I think that might be better because the draw card is just so good. Night Haze, there's also... Cerulean's the blue one. There's like a black Wisps. There's a whole cycle of Wisp cards from Lorwyn, maybe Shadowmoor, originally, that gives Fear. And I've tried that in the deck, but Fear is not unblockable. Like, we need a fully unblockable, especially Fear is very much not unblockable because it lets artifact creatures block. So anyway, if it was fully unblockable and drew you a card for 1 mana, I think that'd be a very good card. I think if it didn't draw you a card, it would not be good enough. All right, they have 4 blockers. 1, 2, 3, 4. So they're only taking 5. Synth finds a Ginger Brute. Discard a Mountain for a Ginger Brute. We're not going to get there, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, that match has got to be terrible for us, for sure. We still got a game off of them, so I guess it's not too bad. All right, on the play. Yeah, Galvanic Blast is online immediately. We are all in on this Epicure if we don't draw another creature right away. Because, like, if I draw a land or something, depending on what we're up against, I'm probably going to double Inventor's Axe this guy. Oh, definitely against Spy. Elves of Deep Shadow or Quirion Ranger. They're not going to play anything, okay, because they want to cycle. Well, we'll attack with a 5/1 Epicure, or it will be. They're at 14. Cycle Ent. They do get to play 2 1/1s here if they want, which makes it pretty hard to get through. Because even if I Galvanic one of them, would love End the Festivities, but it's not in our main deck. Synth, Great Furnace. Well, we'll attack, force them to block. Maybe they don't. It's a lot of damage, though. Yeah, they block with the elves. Epicure, pass. Cycle this land with a blood token. I got plenty of artifacts. They have an overgrown battlement. We get a bolt, so I can just kill both their creatures. Ooh, it's 11 damage to them. Yeah, but it's got to just be right to kill both their creatures, suit these up, put them to 8, and then I'm halfway there. If I can get one more hit in, I'll be lethal. 3 of their cards they can't play right now. Winding Way, they need to find a 1-drop or something that they can play, but they can't. I should have shot them at the end step, but that's okay. Galvanic Blast and hit for 5. Look at that. Axe is going the distance. Going for speed. Okay. I kind of don't think we Relic here. I think we're just supposed to be faster than them. And the Festivities seems good. Well, seems good there. I'm not sure it's great in general, but I think it's probably worth bringing in still over like the Reckless. Yeah, I don't think we go for Relic. Like, that's just like play a later, longer game, but then they just go for mid-range, and that's not good. I think we just need to kill them fast. Yeah, if we get a land, this can kill him fast. Only 1 bolt. I think we'll keep. I don't know. Definitely 1-landers that are like perfect keeps, and then there are some that are not the best. I think it would be on 1 or 2 of Festivities. Yeah, I kind of thought about that, and you might be right, because I was thinking that might be the best course of action as well. Kind of just felt like we want to have them at the right time, but yeah, you're probably right. Caretaker, Fire Blast, perfect. They're going to get Healer of the Glade. I could bolt this. If I don't bolt it, they're going to get Overgrown Battlement, then Healer. The next turn, they could play a Generous Ent, and that's pretty bad. I think I just bolt this. Not my favorite start. If I get a land, maybe I'll be okay. There's a Battlement. There's not a land. I could go for a Synth into a land, but that's never worked for anybody in the entire existence of Synth. Healer. Nothing else. There's a Mountain. I think I just double Epicure, and then next turn I can go for Axe on whatever they block with the Healer. Damn, Synth would have grabbed it. No, you don't understand. There would have been a different card on top of our deck. It never grabs it. All right, I think we Ginger Brute. Activate Ginger Brute. Swing with the team. Axe the thing that Healer blocks, and then keep swinging from there. I guess I could Fire Blast the Battlement. I think that's a little extreme. Maybe if they were at like 9 life and we had a 3-turn clock on them, but don't think I'm doing that anytime soon. They're going to cycle the Ent. They were holding on to it for a little while to see if they drew, mana to cast it, but they got to lead the Stampede or something. Masked Vandal. That's not fair. My Axe. They were deciding between the Axe and the Ginger Brute. Fair enough. I guess they chose right. Synth. I guess if this gets a land, I'm not happy about it, but I could play Ginger Brute and activate both Get in for 2. Tomb Raider. Yeah, I guess I'm activating and attacking. Vandalism is a crime. I guess that's why he wears the mask. So true. What a coward. There's a Winding Way. Land grant Winding Way swamp. That's hilarious. Mill to their swamp. Only got a Caretaker. Although I guess Caretaker makes black, so maybe they don't need it. Which means I guess I die next turn if I don't get like a... I have a Fire Blast for 1 creature, but I need another. I guess I could Fire Blast the Caretaker. Ooh, that could do work because Tomb Raider can kill whatever blocks it. No, they probably block with the Battlement for that reason. Anyway, it would be really great to see something huge come out of that strictly benefited black sack. It needs a little something. I totally agree. Definitely want something for it. Ugh, playing another Gingerbrute does not feel like it's that helpful. I kind of want to just discard it to a blood token. And so I shall. Perfect. So I could bolt. I want to bolt the Vandal so I can attack freely, but Caretaker is the one that's making black mana. I guess I'm just attacking with these two. Activate here. And if they block the Tomb Raider with the Battlement, then I could kill the Battlement. And if they block it with one of the other guys, then I can end the Festivities to kill. There we go. So end the Festivities kills the Caretaker. They fell for my trap. Not blocking with the Vandal was interesting because I feel like they'd want the Caretaker to survive more. I don't know. But this does hold our guys back more. I understand that. Ooh, another Tomb Raider. That's great. Do I just bolt this now? I guess I have 7 damage on them if I block. No, they'll probably block here. Yeah, keeping their creature count down is important, and this makes it so I don't have to lose my guys, so I think I do. So no reason to activate the Gingerbrute because they're going to block a Tomb Raider, or maybe nothing. Okay, nothing it is. They have a Fog? Is that what's happening here? They just tap for green in the... Okay, I think they might have misclicked there. I could Fire Blast the Battlement. I think I'd probably just save it. Hello, Core Cross, how's it going? We won the match. Nice. Don't even worry about it. All right, round 4 here. This hand looks pretty good. So we can do Lackey turn 1, turn 2 Tomb Raider, pre-combat Inventor's Axe, so that the Tomb Raider gets haste. Attack for 5, that's pretty good. Then some card draw for later. Swing for 1, something black. I'm gonna do this, although they could have... Okay, they cycle Troll. I was gonna say they could have a Snuff Out or something. Troll for Haunted Mire. You could still have a Snuff Out. Looks like no, though. Nice. Hit him for a bunch. Golgari Food Pest is my goal, my guess, just because they didn't have a Snuff Out. And Basic Forest is not usually seen in any Gardens deck. Interesting. We get to hit for a lot of damage. Let's start with an Impulse, because I could find a land plus a haste creature. No, but we have a very aggressive start anyway. Pass. I guess we start with the Synth. Hope we hit a mountain here. Tomb Raider. I mean, the chances they kill one of these are almost 100%. I don't have... Oh, okay, I was thinking Galvanic was 4 damage, but I only have 2 artifacts. If it was 4, I think I might actually cast the Galvanic Blast here because I can present lethal, so I force them to do something. But since it's just 2, it's 2 either way. And I'm not expecting an instant speedboard wipe. So, Fungal Infection and a Defile. Okay, so it is just Gardens, I think. Just traditional Gardens. They're still in a very good spot. They're at 7. We have some damage in hand. They need to get something stat, some life gain. I'm not going to equip up Axe, I don't think. That just wastes it if they are casting this down, which I figure they probably will be. Okay, so I could play an Epicure and then just have up a Bolt. I think we're going to Reckless Impulse. I just feel like if I find... There we go. Land. Land is just really good for us right now, and all we need to do is find like another Bolt to kill them. They might have to like Crypt Rat. Oh, Pulse is pretty good. Gains 6. So they have a Troll and 2 Unknowns in hand. Okay. They could have a Snuff Out, another Axe. Well, I think I'm going to equip here. I'm just going to do 4, because I think I want to Impulse, Mountain, Galvanic Blast. We have the artifacts now. I'm not expecting a main deck Weather the Storm, but that's part of why I did it there, was just in case. Spinning Darkness, sure, that's pretty good. Then a Tithing Blade or something. Heaped Harvest, that can gain some more life. All right, Harvest makes me think Food Pest, but I think everything else is leading me to believe it's just traditional Gardens and they just happen to be playing this. So they're at 10. I can deal 3, 6, 7, 8, so I need 2 more damage. That would do it. Plus I can start with the Synth, see if we turn anything else up. Land is fine. So deal 5, Chain Lightning, Lightning Bolts. All right, that one went pretty well. Do I want to change anything? Casting the Fire to hitting their artifacts could be okay, but that doesn't seem that good. Relic for the Pulse, but that's only probably a 1 of. I think we're just going to resubmit. Snuff Out doesn't even feel strong here. Puts them halfway to dead in exchange for making you re-equip the Axe later. Yeah, I mean, when I say Snuff Out, like, them losing 4 life is not great, but it's the only tool that they could have for free, except for Spinning Darkness, in some of the situations where I was mentioning. So, like, yeah, them taking 4 is not great, but if my guy was about to hit for 5, then obviously it could throw off our math. But you're totally right. Like, they should be taking all the snuff outs they have out. But in game 1, they might have to use them, you know? All right. Percussionist, swing for 1. And snuff out's also just kind of when my opponent is tapped out, I'm like, oh, snuff out, you know, they could still have something. All right, they're going to have a Fanatical Offering here probably. Good news is I don't have to fear like a Drown in Sorrow that much. They could have it, but then I get to just, Weather's pretty good, I guess. If they have a Drown in Sorrow, my percussionists both turn into new cards, so it's basically just a 1-for-1. The Weather was decent, but like 9 life, it's not that bad. I can survive. We'll go for a Reckless Impulse, see if I draw a 1-drop, which I do, and they can Weather again if they want. I mean, I'm not in an incredible spot, but like, yeah, decent damage. If they wipe the board, I at least get something out of it. Quite a few somethings. We have some direct damage in hand. I could have a Crypt Rats here. Yeah, I could technically leave back Ginger Brute to like, I could crack it to game 3 life here. Seeing as I'm about to get 3 cards off the top, I really don't think I need the life. Like, lifelink's already going to be, the life gain's so irrelevant. And if I had nothing else to do with the mana, I would. But since I'm going to get some stuff, maybe I will have stuff. Okay, Lackey till the end of next turn. I'm going to bolt them now because I don't want to play into Weather the Storm. But I don't have enough artifacts for Galvanic Blast, so I'm going to wait because I could get another. They play a Wellspring. I guess by playing that right now, I don't have the mana to crack Lackey if they have like a Tithing Blade or something, or just Cast Down, which is a little annoying because that could have been my 3rd artifact. Yeah, maybe I should have left that up. Okay, Impulse is not bad. Give me an artifact. It found me another Impulse. Well, it's going to be hard to find enough artifacts to play this turn. Galvanic Blast is about to be gone. Epicure is good until next turn. I guess I'm going to Galvanic them. Don't want to waste that damage. Epicure, Blood Token away a mountain. Ginger Brute. I probably shouldn't cast any more spells because this has already been 3. Now 2. Flashback Insight. Okay, they don't have Weather then, so I can actually do this. And while I have the artifacts, I'm going to Galvanic Blast them because I'm probably going to crack this blood right away. So I might as well do it now while they're tapped low enough they can't Weather. They do have the Drown in Sorrow. And a Bojuka Bog, I don't care. They have 6 cards in hand, so it's going to be pretty rough, especially if we get that Synth. Come on. Ooh, perfect. That's what I asked for. Tomb Raider's pretty good. Crack Synth. Swing for 2. Defile it. I'm going to cast an Epicure, and I feel like I'm about to get Weathered for 15. Yep, but not having an Epicure and them getting 12 life is just as bad, if not worse. Then the Drown in Sorrow. I think we're going to lose way too many lands. All right. We're going to concede there, unfortunately. Yeah, I think we just try to go faster. They had a bit of a slow start, but then really came online and had just about everything. Yeah, this one's decent. I think I always like to start with the Percussionist. Technically, they could have a Defile right away, which kills this and doesn't kill a Lackey, so maybe I should do that. But if they kill a Percussionist with a Defile right away, I'm pretty okay with that. We're going to just try to go fast. Hope they don't find a Crypt Rats or Drown fast enough. Hit for 3. They're going to Troublemaker Oof our Percussionist. That's annoying. Chain Lightning this guy. Get in for 2. I guess I could have already gotten in for 1 with the Ginger Brute, so I lost 2 damage by doing that. Each turn that Lackey's around, I'll make it up, but might not have been worth it. Cycle a Troll. They have a Pilfer. Oh, brother. I kind of want to throw my entire hand at them then. Go down to 1 land. They go to 7. I can hit them down to 5. Them taking a 4 damage spell. I don't think we come back from that. Yep. Here we go. I will be sacking my board. That's a pretty good draw. Well, it's a decent draw. It pings them for 1 and it's a creature. I have to hope for no Drown in Sorrow, but by doing it, I also, yeah, they definitely tapped so quickly. Definitely have the Drown. Give me a Tomb Raider. No, maybe just bolts. Oh, brother. Do I use Blood Token to get rid of that? Probably not. Probably just play a Mountain. Would it have been better if we had 2 more lands, but they were at 8 life? No way. They're going to exile our land. I might have taken the Blood Token in that situation, but Wellspring. Offering. Cycle Troll. We only have 1 Fire Blast, so there's nothing else that deals 4 damage, I don't think. So I don't think we can draw anything lethal here. We can certainly get a Bolt to do most of it. Weather the Storm's on top, though. Come on, give me a second Fire Blast, inexplicably. That's going to not do anything. Tomb Raider now doesn't have haste. Ugh, so close. I'm going to assume they can cast like 4 spells. Lembus as well. All right, they got us. Close one, but no cigar. All right, we're going to keep green. Could mean fast. Infect. Okay, Saga Wildling. Let's start with Gingerbread, I think. I'm going to guess we're against elves, but it could be... I mean, that's not the best way to start from elves. It could be Spy. It could be monsters. Masked Vandal as just a blocker. Okay. Ooh, Great Furnace, Epicure. I could Galvanic Blast this, but then they could just exile it if they have another. Plus, I kind of want Galvanic Blasts for... They're either elves or spy, and either way I want Galvanic Blast for the other creatures, the more important ones, so... I'm just going to play these guys. No attacks. I could attack with my 2 haste guys, but then I lose the Gingerbread for 1 damage. That's not good enough. They have a Generosent, so now they could Vandal maybe. Gingerbread Cabin. Yep, they have another one. Takes out the Gingerbread, I would assume. So we need another land, or excuse me, another artifact for these to be online. Tomb Raider. Just go with an Impulse. I assume it's elves now. Just a weird draw with elves. But with so many forest and a Gingerbread Cabin, I'm not expecting Spy. All right, we hit an Axe and a Percussionist. I guess that's not bad. I can attack with either of these, and I can Axe to make this trade with one of them. So they could block one on each, and then I get to kill whichever. It doesn't matter. They could try to double block the Lackey if I didn't have the Axe, but now that I do with First Strike, I could kill one of theirs, and I wouldn't lose my guy. So yeah, they should probably just either not block, but that's fine by me too, or double block. Well, block each. They just block here, so whether they blocked here or both of them, I can only kill one, and I'm going to lose the Epicure either way, so they're just letting a free damage get in here. Unless I had like an extra mana, a Simian Spirit Guide, and another Axe, but obviously don't have that. But that's kind of what I wanted. I didn't want to have to use Galvanic Blast on these guys, but being able to just trade Axes and small creatures for them, or Axe triggers, totally fine. They do have a Gingerbread Cabin with a Quarian Ranger. I'm going to have to kill the Quarian Ranger because they can just untap and rebounce the cabin too many times. Attack with a Vandal because they're going to untap it, so might as well. Pass the turn. Okay, so we get to play Percussionist. I think we play Tomb Raider. Equip this onto the Percussionist. So if they block here, they can trade. Both of these survive, then we swing. I don't love it, but I think I'm going to have to use a 4 damage Galvanic Blast on just the Quarian Ranger. But otherwise, they can gain an extra 3 life every single turn, which is way more than the Galvanic's going to deal. They are going to trade with the Percussionist. Take 3. Turn that up. Percussionist. So I can play that next turn. So yeah, we're just going to Galvanic Blast the Ranger. It slows them down pretty well anyway, so it's fine. Pretty sure we don't know 2 of their cards because we know about the cabin. They have a Hydra for 3. Okay, I can blast that as well. Play this, play a Lackey, blast, swing for 5. The Inventor's Axe, we are out of energy. If we get another Axe, then we can equip both it and this one, which would be great. But for now, Axe is dead. But it did good work. It did trade with 2 Vandals off of 2 1/1s, so not unhappy with it. They have an Avenging Hunter. They got to do what they got to do, but Hunter's not great because we obviously can just take the initiative pretty easily. And if I get a Galvanic Blast, another one, or even a Bolt because they're going to block for sure, then I can definitely just like force them to trade with it. Swing here, block a Lackey. That's the worst one to block. Well, it's the worst one to block if I have an instant speed Lightning Bolt because I could Bolt this and then First Strike it down, but I don't have that, so it's actually fine. We get a Mountain, hit him for the rest. Mountain's actually pretty good because I think I'm just going to discard it to this Blood Token. If I get a Fire Blast here, I can just win the game. Anything else, and I am going to just kill this Hunter because then we keep the initiative. They have a Forest, crack their food token. Gotta have something else to play. I guess maybe a Generosent, but they wanted to crack food, but yeah. Priest of Titania, Elves. You got it, bud. 2 counters on the Percussionist, I guess. Lackey, swing with the team. Chump, they take 5, and we'll just pass. I mean, they're dead to the trap, and I guess even if they got a Quarian Ranger or a way to gain some more life, like a Saga Wildling, I could Bolt plus Trap to kill them. All right. Not that it matters, but in paper I would have missed the window to discard the Mountain during First Strike damage and dig for the Bolt to kill the Hunter. Yeah, that's a good call. I thought about saying something about that after it, but then I was forgetting that I got the initiative in First Strike damage. I was thinking that like, oh, well, if I had this card, but no, you're totally right. First Strike damage, take the initiative, search for the card. Now I can discard it to a Blood Token, find a Bolt, kill the Hunter. Would have actually been the correct play. I missed it here as well. So, but yeah, that is pretty sick. There's a lot of little things like that with First Strike that I always try to be very clear that like First Strike damage happens and then regular damage, if there's any way it could matter. Basically, if either of us have mana up. If it's just like I'm attacking with 2 creatures and they're taking the damage no matter what, yeah, I'll just total it up for them. But but sometimes it's pretty important to be like, no, this is first strike, and then this happens. Because, yeah, first strike is a busted keyword. There's so many ways you could take advantage of it, like that. And just in general, like deal a damage, then lightning bolt your creature, stuff like that. Okay, we're bringing Cast in the Fire and the Festivities, obviously, because it's against elves. I want to keep as many like bolts and stuff as possible. And I kind of want to keep most of the Reckless Impulses, but I'll get rid of one here, just because it digs for kill spells. So, yeah. This hand is okay with 2 Galvanics, but with 1 land, and the aggression doesn't matter as much because they have life gain and stuff, I think I'm going to mulligan that. This one's about the same, if not worse, but I do have Cast in the Fire. Sure, I'll keep this one. We have synths to hopefully find lands, although we know they never do. All right, we do find a land. Do I want to just Galvanic Blast this guy? I think no, because I might just be able to cast it in the fire alongside a Quirion Ranger or something. Oh, if they're going to trade, that's fine by me, actually. Play 2 elves, come on. Aw, coward. All right, we're going to synth. We have nothing else to do because I don't want to kill this elves by itself. We're going to hope we don't hit one of our 2 Reckless Impulses. Come on, dude. Every single time. I took out an Impulse. I took out a Fire Blast. So there were only 2 cards. Actually, no, I put in Cast in the Fire, so I could have hit any of those, I guess. Still, very unlikely we hit something that was bad. They got nothing. Another Reckless Impulse in a row. I maybe should have Galvanic Blasted this on the end step, because now if they take the initiative, I could be screwed. But, well, we're going to hope and pray that doesn't happen, I guess. The deck giveth and the deck taketh away. Exactly right. Yep, there's the Hunter. Tomb Raider. Give me a Great Furnace off the top. That's not what I asked for. Because I can Tomb Raider, and if I got a Great Furnace, I could Galvanic Blast this. I'm going to attack. They can block, and I get to Axe and trade, which is pretty okay for me, but they keep the initiative, which is the bad part. But if they don't block, I get a land, which is actually even better for me. So yeah, I think it's right that they block, even if they do lose their big guy. I definitely should have Galvanic Blasted. I didn't care about the elf in general because it's usually worse than the other elves, but once it was like, oh, they're going to be able to Hunter, I should have blasted on the end step, so that was a bit of a mistake. And now the elves is going to be out of range of Casting the Fire, unless they scryed, but I wasn't expecting that with 5 cards in hand. V2 Ghazi Inspector. Sure. Quirion Ranger with the cabin again. Untap. Tomb Raider, synth, hopefully find a land. Well, and the Festivities gets rid of the Ranger, which was a problem, but I have a lot of things to do with mana, especially because of the synths, so lands would definitely be a good thing to find. Right, and they're just going through the initiative. They have 5 damage on board here. We're probably just dead. I guess if Winding Way whiffs, no, they find 4 cards, including 2 Spinewoods and an Inspector. We're going to concede there. Our hand is trash, and they're already winning, and then they got a 4-for-1. Okay, let's not make any mistakes, but also get a hand that wrecks them, preferably. Well, this kind of loses bad to a couple Mass Vandals, but I think it's good enough. We have the interaction. We have some decent pressure. Start with an Epicure. Elves. So I could Ginger Brute and Axe, or I could just double Ginger Brute. Kind of think I'd rather... It's a little less damage. They get to spread it out a little better, and if they go like Cycle Thing into Masked Vandal Ginger Brute, then I still have the Axe with 2 equips instead of just 1. I'm hoping they just play, like, that's not bad, but, like, Priest of Titania, so I can Cast in the Fire that and an Elves. But if they just want to do these 2, that's fine, too. Do nothing else. Monstrous Emergence? I feel like that's a weird one to bring in, but I guess it's a way to slow us down. I'll kill your 2 creatures. Axe. Axe is Axe. Hit for 4. We go to 12. We have a Chain Lightning in hand, so virtual 9. Hoping for no Masked Vandals, but expecting it, to be honest. Oh, Winding Way. 2 Vandals, Avenging Hunter lead the Stampede, but this is an extra turn of hitting for 4 if they don't have a 1-drop. Saga Wildling. Okay, so give me something good for once. Okay, I'll take another Ginger Brute. We hit for 5. They get to exile this Ginger Brute, I assume. Well, actually, they can double Ginger... Yeah, they can exile 2 Ginger Brutes. But 1 will be left behind with the ability to re-equip the Axe. I think I'm going to Chain Lightning them because I want to use the mana. Because we're going to have to pay 1 for the Ginger Brute activation, and if we get like a Reckless Impulse or Cast in the Fire or something, we might want to use 2 mana for that. I'm expecting them to just double Vandal us here. But if that's all they do, I just need to draw a 1 damage spell to win. Not sure there's something they can do that's better, though. It takes out 2 of our creatures while developing 2 of their own. There's a Vandal. I guess they can take out the Axe. That's probably smarter. Well, I don't know. They take out the Ginger Brute. If they also take out the Axe, then I only have 2 damage on them, so I need to find a 2 damage spell. But if they take out a Ginger Brute, I'm only left with 1 creature, and if they have a way to get rid of that, I don't know. They are going to go for a Ginger Brute. All right, give me something that deals a damage. All right, that's 2 more shots at it. There we go. And the Festivities. Oh yeah, actually I needed the land as well because this needs unblockable. So that was perfect. 3-2. Unless they have green snuff out that doesn't cost life or something. All right. Well, we got a 3-2 with the deck, which is not bad considering we went up against Monstertron, which has got to be one of our worst matchups. And also Golgari Gardens, which seems like a tough one as well. Yeah, I like the deck pretty well. This and Red Rally are both, decently aggressive, decently fun. I would say Rally has higher high roll potential because you could just get any number of Burning Tree Emissaries into Rally. But this might be a little more consistent and has a little more reach because you have the ability to go unblockable with a 3-power or more creature, as opposed to just jamming tons of creatures and hoping that your opponent can't block them all, which sometimes they can. So I definitely like the utility here a little bit. But that's going to be it for me. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.